Have you ever said the completely wrong thing to your boss? Or maybe to a really good friend?
Oh, absolutely. I think we all have.
Right, and you instantly wish you had a time machine. You just stand there, feeling your face get really hot.
Yeah, you were just wishing you could press a rewind button and change the words you just said.
Well, today we are actually giving you that time machine. Welcome to English for Fine.
We are so happy to have you here. If you are joining us for the first time, the mission of our channel is very simple.
Exactly. We are here to help you improve your English speaking, your everyday grammar, and your daily communication.
But we do it in a special way. We focus on how people actually speak in the real world.
Right, using very simple, clear explanations. We are two friendly, experienced English teachers.
And our role today is just to guide you step by step without any of that scary classroom pressure.
I mean, we want you to imagine we are just sitting right across from you in a comfortable room, just having a relaxed conversation.
Yeah, we are going to treat you like the intelligent adult that you are. You already know a lot of English.
You really do. You just need the keys to unlock a few complicated doors.
There are no tests here today, and we are definitely not going to read to you from some dusty grammar textbook.
No way. We're looking at the messy, emotional, real-life way that native speakers use this language.
And we want to speak directly to you, the listener. We know that learning advanced English grammar can sometimes feel really overwhelming.
Oh, for sure. You hear native speakers using these long, fast strings of words.
Right, and it can feel like a secret code you just cannot break. But today's deep dive is going to change all of that.
We are going to take one of the most common yet confusing structures in the English language and just break it wide open.
Our topic today is the magic, the mystery, and the mechanics of the phrase would have plus a past participle.
Yes. And we're also going to explore its close cousin, which is would have been.
You hear this all the time, right? You hear it in movies and songs and at the office.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And the frustrating part is you probably know what the word would means all by itself.
Exactly. And you definitely know what the word have means.
But when native speakers smash those two words together and then add another verb on the end, the meaning shifts.
It really does. It becomes slippery. So our big mission for this lesson is to make sure you truly understand it.
Right. By the time we finish this conversation, you will not only understand the grammar rules, but you will feel the human emotions behind these words.
So let us jump right into the core meaning of would have plus a past participle.
To really understand this, we have to go back to that time machine idea we mentioned at the start.
Yes, think of this grammar structure as a grammatical time machine. English has different ways to talk about the past.
The simple past tense is for reality. It tells us what actually physically happened.
Right. If I say, I walked to the store, that is a hard, concrete fact. It happened. The history books are closed.
But this would have structure does something completely different. It tells us about an alternate reality.
Exactly. It builds a parallel universe. When you use would have, you are stepping into a world where things happened differently.
You are describing an unreal past. It is a past that only exists in your imagination, or maybe in your wishes.
Before we get into the heavy feelings behind it, let us just clearly build the formula for you.
It is very simple. It only has three small pieces.
Yeah.
First, you start with the word would.
Right. Second, you add the word have.
And third, you attach a past participle verb.
In a lot of classrooms, teachers call that past participle the V3 form. It is the third form of the verb.
Yes, so for example, go, went, gone. Gone is the V3.
Do, did, done. Done is the V3.
Eat, ate, eaten. Or help, helped, help.
And here is a secret that should make you feel incredibly confident today.
What is that?
Well, if you already know how to use the present perfect tense if you know how to say I have gone or she has eaten.
Oh, right. Then you already know the hardest part of this formula.
Exactly. You already have the tools in your toolbox. All you were doing is picking up the word would and placing it right in front.
It is that easy. But we really need to point out that this is not just a math equation.
No, not at all. It is not just about moving English words around on a piece of paper so you can pass a test.
Right. This specific grammar structure is deeply connected to human emotion.
I like to think of would have as a tool for empathy.
Oh, that is a great way to put it. A tool for empathy.
Yeah, it is a way to show another person that you care about their feelings and you care about your relationship with them.
It softens the harsh reality. Let's look at a real example to prove why this matters so much.
Okay, set the scene for us.
Let us say your neighbor asked you to help them carry a heavy sofa into their apartment yesterday.
Oh, moving furniture is the worst.
It is. But you were sick in bed with a terrible fever, so you did not help them.
Okay, makes sense. You were sick.
Now, today,
Uh-huh.
you see your neighbor out in the hallway, you could look at them and say, I didn't help you.
Oh, wow. Think about how that sounds to the listener.
It is a simple past tense sentence, and it is completely true. But it sounds incredibly cold, doesn't it?
It sounds awful. If you just say, I didn't help you, your neighbor's going to think you are a terrible person.
Right, it has zero emotion. It just states the cold reality, and it makes them think you just did not care.
But now let us put our time machine grammar into action.
Imagine you look at your neighbor and you say, I would have helped you, but I was sick.
Notice how the entire atmosphere changes when you say that. That second sentence tells a much warmer human story.
It completely repairs the relationship. When you say, I would have helped you, you're communicating three things at once.
First, you show your original intention. You are telling them, I have a good heart. I wanted to help you.
Second, you acknowledge the reality, which is that you did not actually help.
And third, and this is the most important part, you provide the reason why.
Right. You explain that an outside force, the sickness, stopped you from doing it.
This is exactly why native English speakers use this structure constantly. We use it to sound human.
We use it to sound polite, kind, and cooperative instead of aggressive.
It shows the listener that you are on their team. You are saying, in a perfect world, I am there for you. Reality just got in the way.
So mastering this structure is not just about sounding perfectly fluent, it is about building your relationships in English.
Okay, now that we understand the emotional weight behind the grammar, let us explore the four main situations where we use would have.
The first big category is talking about past regrets.
Oh yeah, human beings spend a lot of time looking back at their mistakes, don't they?
We really do. We look over our shoulder at the bad choices we made and we feel a sense of guilt or sadness.
And this grammar is perfectly designed to express that specific pain.
Imagine a student who completely failed a massive, really important English exam.
Ouch, that is a terrible feeling.
It is. They might look at their failing grade and say, I would have studied harder, but I was so tired after work.
Listen to the emotion wrapped up in that sentence. The student is expressing deep disappointment in themselves.
They are creating an alternate reality where they are a better, much more disciplined student.
Right, in that imaginary world, they studied for hours. But then they crash back into reality with the reason they were tired.
So that is regret. The second major use is for imaginary past situations.
If you have ever studied conditionals, teachers usually call this the third conditional.
Yes, this is the classic if-then scenario. You are setting up a situation where things could be different.
If the circumstances in the past had been different, the final result would also have been totally different.
It is like the butterfly effect. You change one small thing in the past, and everything else changes.
Let us walk through some simple examples so you can hear how it works.
Here is one. If the students hadn't been late for the exam, they would have passed.
Notice how this imagines a completely different history. The hard reality is sad. They were late and they failed.
But the sentence builds an imaginary world where traffic was clear, they arrived early, and they succeeded.
Here is another painful scenario. If we had taken a taxi, we wouldn't have missed the plane.
Oh, I hate that feeling. You are standing in the airport watching your plane fly away into the sky. You missed it.
But your brain starts playing tricks on you. Your brain builds new timelines.
Right. In this imaginary timeline, you spent the money, you got in the taxi, and now you are happily sitting on the airplane.
The grammar allows you to talk about that ghost timeline with your friends.
So that is the second use. The third main use is closely related, but slightly different.
Yes, it is talking about missed opportunities.
While regret focuses on a mistake you made, a missed opportunity is about something that was genuinely possible, but just slipped away.
It is about the different paths your life could have taken. If just one or two things had lined up differently.
It is like the sliding doors concept. You go left instead of right, and your whole life changes.
For instance, someone looking back at their youth might say, I would have gone directly to college, but I decided to travel the world instead.
The opportunity to go to college was sitting right there on the table. It was a very real possibility.
But life took a different turn. They are not necessarily regretting the travel, but they are acknowledging a path that they did not take.
Or think about a classic romantic movie. You were watching the screen, shouting at the characters.
Oh, definitely. You might say, if she had waited just 5 more minutes at the cafe, she would have met her soulmate.
The opportunity was so incredibly close, it was practically touching her.
Mm-hmm.
but she stood up and walked out.
The chance slipped away forever. And the phrase would have captures that agonizing feeling of a missed connection perfectly.
It really does. Now, the fourth and final main use is giving opinions about past events.
This is how we sit in judgment of things that have already finished. It is what people call hindsight.
Hindsight is looking at a finished situation with all the facts and sharing your thoughts on how it could have been better.
We do this constantly when we are analyzing a situation with our friends or our coworkers.
Let us say you are driving in the car with a friend to a new restaurant. You trust the GPS, but it takes you right into a massive traffic jam.
You sit there for an hour. Finally, you arrive at the restaurant completely exhausted.
You look at the map and realize there was a quiet back road you could have taken.
So you look at your friend and say, taking that shortcut would have been faster, but we didn't know about it.
You are giving your firm opinion on a trip that is already over. You cannot change the past. You already suffered through the traffic.
Right, but you are judging the route you took against an imaginary route that was much better.
You are using the grammar to express your frustration about how things played out.
So those are the four main uses: regret, imaginary situations, missed opportunities, and opinions.
They show up in our daily lives constantly. But let us bring this down to an even more practical level for you.
Yes, let us look closer at how this functions in everyday English by comparing four specific sentences.
I want us to walk the listener through the 4 levels of helping someone.
This is a great exercise. By looking at these side by side, you will see exactly how changing just one grammar word completely rewires the meaning.
It changes the emotion and how people perceive your character. So let us set the stage.
Okay. A coworker asks you to help them carry a heavy box of printer paper to their desk.
Let us look at the first level. Level 1 is the fact. You say, I didn't help him.
This is the simple past tense. It just means the action did not happen.
But notice what is missing here. There is no explanation at all. There is no reason.
Right. If you say, I didn't help him, the listener has to guess why. Did you hate the coworker? Were you just lazy?
Did you just walk away?
No.
It is a flat, dead fact that leaves a very negative impression.
It leaves way too much empty space for people to assume the worst about you.
Exactly. Now let us look at level 2, inability. You say, I couldn't help him.
Now we are introducing the word couldn't, which is the past tense of cannot. This changes the story completely.
It means you did not have the physical power or the time or the ability to help.
If you say, I couldn't help him, you are explaining that the box was too heavy. Or maybe you were on an important phone call.
It removes the blame from you. Your hands were tied. It was physically impossible.
Now prepare for level 3, refusal. You say, I wouldn't help him.
Oh, wow. This uses the word wouldn't. This is a very strong, very aggressive choice of words.
It implies a complete stubborn refusal. If you say, I wouldn't help him, you are painting a negative picture of yourself.
You are picturing yourself crossing your arms, shaking your head, and just saying no.
It means you had the ability, but you absolutely rejected the idea of helping. You drew a hard line.
And that brings us to level 4, the magic phrase, willingness but prevented. You say, I would have helped him.
Listen to how the energy of the sentence completely shifts. This means you had a really good heart.
You had the desire and the willingness to help your coworker out.
But some outside force, some specific event, jumped in the way and stopped you from doing it.
Do you see how incredibly powerful that is?
Just by shifting from didn't to couldn't to wouldn't to would have, you are changing the entire story of who you are.
You go from being a lazy person to a weak person to a stubborn person, all the way to a kind person who just had bad luck.
The grammar is doing all the heavy lifting for your reputation.
This leads us right into another really interesting comparison. Let's talk about the difference between expressing a simple desire and expressing the unreal past.
This is important. Often, learners will try to express a missed connection by saying, I wanted to call you yesterday.
That is a nice sentence. It shows a feeling of desire. It tells the other person that you had a warm thought about them.
But think about what it does not tell us. If you just say, I wanted to call you, the story is unfinished.
Right. Did you actually try to call? Did you pick up the phone and dial the number?
Did you get distracted and forget? We have no idea. It just describes a feeling that floated through your head.
But if you upgrade your English and say, I would have called you, but my phone battery died, you are telling a complete story.
You are showing that you had the intended action, which is calling, and you were fully prepared to do it.
You are telling them that reality got in the way. It proves that you actually tried.
It validates the other person much more strongly than just having a fleeting thought.
Let us give you some highly practical, real-life scenarios that you can take into your world right now.
Okay, let us start with the workplace. Imagine you work in a corporate office.
And your boss pulls you aside. They look annoyed and ask why you missed an important team meeting that morning.
If you just shrug your shoulders and say, I didn't go to the meeting, your boss is going to be furious.
It sounds totally dismissive. It sounds like you do not care about the team or your job at all.
But watch what happens when you use the time machine grammar. You look your boss in the eye and say, I would have attended the meeting, but I got caught up handling an urgent client emergency.
Suddenly, you sound highly professional. You sound respectful.
You show that you understand the value of the meeting. In an ideal world, you are sitting in that chair.
But a higher priority prevented you. You have defended yourself without sounding defensive.
Now let us take it out of the office and into your social life.
Okay, your good friend invites you to a big birthday party on Saturday night, but you are scheduled to work a really long shift.
You have to say no to the invitation. If you text them back and just say, I can't go, it sounds very abrupt.
It sounds a bit cold, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Your friend might feel a little hurt, thinking you just do not want to celebrate with them.
But if you text back and say, I would have loved to go to your party, but I had to work a double shift, you completely save the friendship.
It softens the rejection beautifully. It makes your friend feel special, valued, and wanted.
You are telling them that in an alternate universe where you do not have to work, you are the first person at their party.
This grammar is essentially social glue. It keeps relationships together.
And speaking of social skills, this brings us perfectly to another very common phrase you will hear everywhere in English.
Ah, yes. Would have been.
This one can feel tricky for learners because the verb to be operates a little bit differently than action verbs.
Right. This is when we shift away from talking about specific actions, like calling, going, or helping.
And we start talking about states of being, atmospheres, and overall feelings.
When we use the verb to be in this grammar structure, the past participle is been.
So we use would have been to describe a situation, a vibe, or a feeling that never actually happened in reality.
It is a way to paint a picture of an environment that did not happen.
Let us look at some simple comparison examples to lock this in for you. Think about a simple fact. The beach was beautiful.
That is reality. It means you actually traveled to the beach, the sun was shining, and it was a lovely experience.
But what if we look at the unreal past? Imagine you planned a beach vacation, but it rained for 7 days straight.
Oh, that is the worst. You might sit in your hotel room, looking out the rainy window and say, the beach would have been beautiful if it hadn't rained all week.
In hard reality, the beach was dark, wet, and miserable.
But in your mind, you are imagining the sunny, gorgeous atmosphere that you were supposed to experience.
You are describing an unreal state of being. Let us try another fact. The party was fun.
You went to the house, you danced with your friends, the music was great. That is reality.
Now let us flip it to the unreal past. Imagine you got stuck at work and missed the whole night. You show up as people are leaving.
You might say, the party would have been fun, but I arrived very late.
You missed the dancing. You missed the music. You were imagining the fun atmosphere that you did not get to participate in.
I really like to think of would have been as a verbal cushion.
A verbal cushion. I like that. Explain what you mean.
Think about a physical cushion on a sofa. A cushion is soft. If you trip and fall onto a cushion, it doesn't hurt. It absorbs the impact.
Ah, right. So when native English speakers use would have been, they are using it to soften the blow.
Exactly. It softens bad news, criticism, or frustration. It makes difficult, awkward conversations much gentler.
This really gets into the psychology of native English speakers, especially in cultures that try to avoid direct conflict.
Let's look at a real example of that. Imagine you are working on a project with a friend, and they make a massive mistake.
Because they decided not to ask you for help. You are frustrated.
You could point your finger right at them and yell, "Why didn't you tell me?"
But that is aggressive conflict. That is going to make your friend defensive, and now you are in a big fight.
Instead, you reach for your verbal cushion. You take a breath, you lower your voice, and gently say, it would have been easier if you told me earlier.
Look at how much better that is. It accomplishes the exact same goal.
Right. You are still telling them they messed up, but you are doing it through the back door.
Native speakers use this technique constantly to navigate conflict. It shows gentle frustration.
You are letting them know they made an error, but instead of attacking them directly, you point to an imaginary better reality.
It gives them space to apologize without feeling attacked.
Now, let us switch gears a little bit. We want to tackle some common learner-style questions.
Yes, we know that when you are learning a new grammar rule, your brain starts asking a lot of what-if questions.
We want to answer those questions right now. Let's tackle the first one that comes up all the time.
A learner might ask, do I always need to provide a reason? Can I just walk up to someone and say, yesterday I would have gone shopping, and then just stop talking?
The answer to that question is incredibly important. No, that is a huge mistake.
The phrase would have desperately needs a why. It needs a condition. It needs an anchor.
If you just walk up to a native speaker, look them in the eye and say, I would have gone shopping, and then remain completely silent,
They are going to stand there staring at you in total confusion.
they're physically waiting for the word but.
Exactly. They are waiting for you to finish the story. It sounds like your sentence got cut off in the middle.
You must complete the thought. You have to resolve the tension by giving the reason.
You must say, but it was raining. Or, but I realized I lost my wallet.
The sentence is essentially broken in half if you do not provide the specific reason why the event didn't happen.
Okay, here is question number 2, and this is a massive one, especially for your listening skills.
A learner asks, when I watch American or British movies, why does it sound like the actors are saying would of? Like WOULD space OF.
This right here is the ultimate pronunciation secret of the English language. This explains why listening is so hard.
Native speakers talk very, very fast. When we are speaking naturally, we do not clearly separate the words and say would have.
The human mouth is lazy. We squeeze the words together. We contract would have into would.
And because of how the mouth shapes those letters, the H sound disappears entirely.
The H drops out, and the heavy V sound turns into a very soft F sound.
So to the human ear, the contraction would have sounds exactly 100% identical to the words would have.
There is absolutely no phonetic difference when spoken at normal speed. It truly does sound identical.
But we must give you a very strong, flashing red light warning right now.
Would have is completely, totally, absolutely incorrect in writing. It is not real English.
It is a massive spelling mistake. And the craziest thing about this mistake is that millions of native English speakers make it every single day.
You will see native speakers write would have on social media, in text messages, and even in professional work emails.
Why do they do it? Because the brain is mapping what the ear hears directly to the fingers.
They write exactly what it sounds like. It is a phonetic trap.
But please remind yourself every time you pick up a pen or sit at a keyboard, it is never would have.
It is always, always would have. Even if the voice inside your head is pronouncing it as of, your fingers must type out HAVE.
Let us keep exploring the mistakes we make, because learning a language is all about making mistakes, understanding them, and fixing them.
Mistake number 1 in this category is what grammar teachers call the double would in conditionals.
This is a very common trap. And honestly, just like the spelling mistake, native speakers fall into this trap too when they speak quickly.
The mistake involves putting the phrase would have in the if part of the sentence.
Remember how conditional sentences have two parts. They have the if part, which is the setup, and the then part, which is the result.
Listen very closely to this incorrect sentence. If I would have known you were sick, I would have brought you soup.
Did you catch it? Did you hear the two would haves?
There is one in the setup and one in the result. That is too many.
Think of the sentence like a small time machine that only has room for one battery.
If you try to jam 2 batteries into it, the machine breaks. The if part of the sentence cannot hold a would.
The correct way to build this sentence is to use the past perfect tense in the setup.
You say, if I had known you were sick, I would have brought you soup.
You must use the past perfect, if I had known, in the if clause.
And you save the conditional perfect I would have brought. For the result clause, only one would have allowed per sentence.
Let us look at mistake number 2. This one involves using would have directly with the word wish.
Sometimes you look back at the past and you deeply wish a specific event had turned out differently.
A very common, incorrect way learners try to express this is by saying, I wish I would have known.
That sentence feels very heavy and clumsy to a trained ear. It is mixing up the desire with the conditional result.
The correct, elegant way to express this regret is simple. You say, I wish I had known.
Whenever we are expressing a wish that something in the past had happened differently, we must rely on the past perfect tense.
We say, I wish I had known, or I wish you had called me, or I wish we had stayed longer.
Mistake number 3 is a fascinating one because it reveals how the English language views time.
The mistake is mixing the present tense with the past unreal. English is a language that is incredibly sensitive to time zones.
You cannot mix different time zones in these cause and effect sentences.
Listen to this incorrect example and see if you can feel why it is broken. I would go to the gym, but I was tired.
That sentence makes the brain stumble. It sounds very confusing because it is pulling the listener in two different directions.
Would go is a phrase we use to talk about right now, the present or a possibility in the future.
But was tired is locked firmly in the past. You are breaking the rules of time travel.
You cannot have a present result for a past condition in this specific structure.
The correct sentence brings everything into the same time zone. It brings it all into the past unreal.
You have to say, I would have gone to the gym, but I was tired.
Always remember to match your clocks. If the reason being tired happened in the past, your imaginary action must also happen in the past unreal.
Would have gone. It keeps the timeline clean and understandable for the listener.
Now, we have talked a lot about the rules and the psychology. It is time for some interactive practice.
We do not want you to just sit back and passively listen to our voices. We want you, the listener, to actively participate right now.
Wherever you are, if you are driving or washing the dishes or walking your dog, we want you to speak out loud.
Speaking the words out loud builds your confidence and it creates physical muscle memory in your mouth.
We are going to act as your study partners. We will give you the first half of a situation, and we want you to guess the logical second half.
I will even try to guess it with you. Here is practice scenario 1.
Imagine you live in a messy apartment. You and your roommate are always losing things.
Now, imagine an alternate reality where you actually cleaned up. The prompt is, if we had tidied our flat, we...
What comes next? Think about the negative result you want to avoid. Say it out loud.
Okay, let me think through this as if I am the learner. The condition is, if we had tidied our flat.
Right, that is the past perfect. So you need a result that didn't happen.
The bad thing is losing the keys. So I need to make that negative. We wouldn't have lost our keys? Is that right?
That is spot on. You nailed it. Let us look at the whole sentence together.
If we had tidied our flat, we wouldn't have lost our keys. The grammar perfectly explains that the mess caused the lost keys.
Excellent job. Let us try practice scenario 2.
Think about a freezing cold day during your summer vacation. You stayed inside the hotel all day.
Now, you are imagining if the weather had been better. The prompt is, if the weather hadn't been so cold, we.
What is the imaginary result? What did you want to do? Say it out loud right now.
All right, let us walk through it. If the weather hadn't been so cold, I am imagining a warm day.
The action I want is going to the beach. So I drop in the time machine grammar. We would have gone to the beach.
Perfectly executed. Let us put the whole thought together. If the weather hadn't been so cold, we would have gone to the beach.
You are building an alternate reality flawlessly. Now for practice scenario 3, we want you to do the heavy lifting.
Yes, we want you to invent your own ending. This is a highly useful prompt for your everyday life.
Imagine your phone was ringing earlier today, but you couldn't answer it. Later, you see your friend.
You want to apologize politely. You start by saying, I would have answered your call, but...
Now, we are going to pause for a second. Finish the sentence with your own creative reason. Say it out loud.
What did you come up with? Did you say, but my phone battery was completely dead?
Or maybe, but I was right in the middle of a meeting. Or perhaps, but I was sleeping and didn't hear it.
Any of those endings are absolutely perfect. You successfully took the grammar and applied it to your real life to solve a social problem.
Before we wrap up, we want to give you one last secret tip. A little hack for conversational English.
You can actually use this structure to buy yourself time in a fast-paced conversation.
If someone asks you a really difficult question or asks for your opinion on a complex topic, you do not have to freeze.
You can slowly say, well, I would have answered that differently yesterday, but let me think about it.
That is such a fantastic trick. It gives your brain 5 or 6 crucial seconds to catch up and formulate a real answer.
And your mouth sounds incredibly fluent and advanced while you are thinking.
Let us do a friendly summary to bring everything we talked about today into focus.
Remember that would have and would have been are your special tools for talking about the unreal past.
They are your conversational time machine. You do not use them just to pass grammar tests.
You use them to show empathy, to explain missed chances, to soften bad news, and to navigate conflict politely.
We want to leave you with a massive dose of encouragement today.
Please remember that your ultimate goal as a learner is clear communication, not absolute grammatical perfection.
If you are speaking quickly in a coffee shop and you accidentally get tangled up, if you say, I would went instead of I would have gone, it is absolutely okay.
The world will not end. Native speakers will still understand the point you're trying to make.
They know you are talking about an unreal past. They will appreciate your effort.
The absolute most important thing is that you keep practicing and you keep opening your mouth to speak.
Do not let the fear of making a grammar mistake silence your voice.
As we close out this deep dive, we want to leave you with a final provocative thought. We want to give you a new lens through which to view the English language.
Tomorrow, when you're watching a movie or listening to a conversation or talking to a native speaker at work, and you hear them say the words, I would have, or it would have been.
We want you to pause for just a second. Do not just hear the grammar. Ask yourself some questions.
What is this person secretly telling me? What hidden regrets, what lost hopes, what quiet frustrations are hiding behind their words?
When you stop listening just for the rules and you start listening for the human feelings behind the rules, you will realize something beautiful.
Mastering these simple words actually unlocks a much deeper, richer understanding of human emotion.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today on English Refined.
We encourage you to keep practicing, keep being brave with your words, and keep speaking.
A warm goodbye to you, and we will see you next time.